Hey, what up, YouTube? It's your boy Extreme Sports 414. Man, here to give my little 2 cents, man, on the UFC 152 card, and just talk about some of the fights I want to see in the UFC. Main thing I really want to talk about, man, is the Jon Jones versus Belfort fight. This is the reason why I didn't do a full post to UFC 152 post fight recap. Jon Jones, man, I have figured out now exactly what makes Jon Jones the great champion that he is. Jon Jones has the ability to break fighters. I'm talking about, like, as far as, like, break their will, break their spirit. You look back at the fight with Rampage Jackson. You look back at the fight with Rashad Evans. You look back at the fight with Stephen Bonner. With Shogun. With Machida. Not so much Machida or Rashad Evans. Those two guys right there, they did still had some fight in them, by the end of the fight, because those fights didn't go according to Jon Jones' game plan all the way. But that is his main focus when he gets in the ring. I see now, man. He has the ability to do it. And I noticed he does it when he is up against a superior striker. And I'm not talking about, a technically superior striker. I'm talking about as far as power. When he was up against Rampage Jackson, up against Shogun Rua, when he was up against the recent one, Vitor Belfort, he figures in his mind, if you don't have the spirit behind your punches, they're not going to be as powerful. And I give him a lot of credit, man, because mentally, that was the best I've seen Vitor since back when he was fighting in the UFC, at its infancy. Vitor, physically and mentally, he was there, man. So I really feel like I got to give a lot of credit to Jon Jones, man, because he beat the best Vitor. He didn't beat, ran down, washed up Vitor, going in there, just try to get a money fight. He beat the best Vitor I think Vitor can be right now. And that's what I think that surprised himself, and I think that even surprised, the Black Zillions camp too. I think they thought that, Jones, he's a good fighter, but Vitor is at his best, and we don't think he's going to beat him. And that's what made the fight very interesting, man, because it was the youngest UFC light heavyweight champion versus the new youngest UFC light heavyweight champion. And it was a good fight, man. Jones, I know a lot of people are probably thinking in their head that Jones has been exposed as far as his jiu-jitsu defense. I don't think that's the case at all, man. I think it's a case of that's how good Vitor's jiu-jitsu is. Did you see how? If watch that fight again, man, and this is one of the reasons why I didn't upload a video right away, like a lot of people did, about the UFC 152 match. I had a lot of stuff going on, yeah, but at the same time, I wanted to make sure I watched that fight at least 2 or 3 times before I actually gave a honest opinion on what I thought happened and all that. But yeah, Jon Jones has the ability to break fighters. That's what he did to Vitor. Vitor pretty much fed Jon Jones that key lock because he did not want to fight anymore, man. He was done. He was done. Mentally, he was done. He was starting to gas. He was cut up. None of his jiu-jitsu offense was getting anywhere. The stand-up wasn't looking good. He did have a couple good punches, man. And I really feel like, I really feel like you can say now that somewhat Jon Jones' chin has been tested. A lot of people will say his chin ain't been tested and things like that. But I can actually say that now. I can, give a valid statement, to myself, to anybody rather, and say, Jon Jones has had his chin tested. He had it tested by Evans, and now he had it tested by, one of the greatest as far as, knockout power in the light heavyweight division with Vitor Belfort. But yeah, Vitor was gone, man. Mentally, he was not there anymore. And physically, he was starting to decline also. He fed Jon Jones the key lock so he could get out of that fight. He didn't feel like fighting anymore. Like I said, he felt like he had already lost the fight. And he looked back. I guarantee you, after that armbar was released and Jon Jones got out of that armbar, Vitor mentally said, damn, that was my only chance and I missed it. When you are in a competitive sport and you are outmatched by your opponent, a lot of times you are going to have that one single event or one single situation that you are going to be able to take down that superior opponent. And that situation or that event that happened for Vitor in the fight with Jon Jones was when he had the armbar. And it looked like it was in there. It looked like it was in there. And it was three things that kind of happened that led to Jon Jones getting out of that armbar and Vitor not finishing that fight. The first thing that happened was Vitor, and this is what he says. And once I watched the fight, I do see that he did let up slightly. But when he did let up, it was almost simultaneous with Jon Jones doing what he was supposed to do to get out of the armbar with pushing his arm up. It was almost simultaneous. Right when Vitor started letting up just slightly because he heard that bone pop, Jon Jones started to push his arm up. I know one of the jiu-jitsu coaches I used to kind of watch on some videos and things. He said that's one of the main things you need to do when you're the arm bar is to push your arm up, not just yank it out of there. You know what I'm saying? Yank it out of there, also push it up at the same time. And he did it right after the slam, exactly when you're supposed to do it. But that happened. Vitor let up a little bit, and at the same time, Jon Jones pushed his arm up. And also, I feel like Vitor did the smart thing somewhat, but then again, he should have went all out. I kind of don't get why Vitor doesn't do that sometimes, man. You have the punching power and you have, the strength. Why not go all out? But he should have went all out and no matter what, not let up on that armbar. I think he thought maybe he was going to gas himself because when he sunk it in, man, he sunk it in with every ounce of strength in his body. And as you know, man, a lot of people will sit there in submissions, and kind of play possum and act like you got them, man, just so you can gas yourself out when they know they already have a way out. So I think that kind of factored in when Vitor let up a little bit. And you got to give some credit, man, to Jon Jones, man, on being calm and doing what he was supposed to do, man. He did what he was supposed to do. So that's all I got to say about the Jon Jones versus Vitor fight. I don't know exactly what's in store for Jon Jones right now, man. I know they're talking about Gustafsson. Honestly speaking, man, I don't really want to see that fight. I know it's probably gonna happen, but I think Jones, ground and pound, man. I think Jones will ground and pound him out, man. If Phil Davis was able to take Gustafsson down almost at will, I guarantee you Jon Jones will be able to do the same thing. I don't know when we will actually see Phil Davis up for a title shot. He has not had, to me, he still needs some good competition. He still needs probably about another three to four fights to me before I feel like he's ready for a title shot in the UFC to fight Jon Jones. If it was somebody else, it might be a lot earlier, man. If it was somebody like Rampage or somebody like that, man, I would think that he would have a decent chance, man, because he has crazy takedown capability. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think Phil Davis is ready for a title shot this moment. I don't think Lloyd Irvin in his camp think he is actually ready for a title shot right now either. I think he needs at the least is 2 more fights. 2 more fights. So like I said, so Gustafsson probably will get the title shot, and I'm looking for Jon Jones to probably do his thing in that, man, and win that. I think Gustafsson's going to be a huge underdog. I think even Gustafsson, if there was anybody else, in the division who actually, could step up and take a fight, which we very much well might see another Machida versus Jones before we see a Gustafsson. But that's the name that everybody's throwing around right now is Gustafsson. I don't want to see that fight, like I said. But moving on, I want to talk about the flyweights, man. If you are a boxing fan, the flyweight division is a great division to watch, man. These guys are real fast. The knockouts don't happen, so fast like a lot of the MMA events, man. I know some boxing guys like, man, I want to see an actual technical match. This is a division of technical matchups because a lot of times in the gym, what they were saying on the UFC is, and I already do this myself, is these are the smaller guys in the gym. If you're the smaller guy in the gym, we don't say, okay, you can only train with guys, from this height up. You got to train with everybody. But you know what I'm saying, and it's going to make you better because you are the smaller guy, so you have to be more technical because you're not going to be able to out-muscle anybody in the gym. You know what I mean? So it's like it's a very technical division. It's a very fast division. You know, there's not a lot of power because these guys are small. You know, they don't have a lot of power coming behind them. But Vidas has some power. You know what I'm saying? And you know, Mighty Mouse has decent power too. But it's not going to be like, you know, like a heavyweight fight or anything like that. But that was a good fight. Like I said in one of my other videos, man, probably look for Demetrius Johnson. I want to see him fight John Dodson. I want to see that fight, man. I don't know if it'll happen right away because I feel like when it does, it's going to be kind of messed up for the flyweight division because who else is going to fight then? But what I think is probably going to happen with the flyweight division, I think you're going to see like a lot of trilogies and things like that because the weight class has almost no depth right now at all. And I don't even think very many other promotions, I don't think there are other promotions that have a flyweight division in America. I know overseas in Asia, I know ONE FC, I know they have a flyweight division, I believe. And a couple other smaller promotions over in Asia, you know, in other countries, they have a flyweight division. But the flyweight division, you know, is pretty much, you know, in its infancy as far as mixed martial arts. I'm also going to be doing a video upload, man. Under the comment, I want everybody to give some of the people, some of the fighters they feel like that are boxing fighters that could possibly make it in the MMA world. You know what I'm saying? They could possibly, you know what I'm saying, you know, maybe hold a title and things like that. So that's Extreme Sports 414, man. UFC 152 mini post cap. I know I'm rambling on, man, as I tend to do sometime, man, but that's my post fight cap. Hit me up, man. Subscribe, comment, all that good stuff, man.